there's a distance between us. It's getting hard to reach out. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. I know my limits, you can break me down, but I'll stay till the finish line. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. And I've been counting days to get away, to see you again, see you again. Been fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again. See you again.
our sound in the spirit of things. We lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Let me keep coming back, 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 of things we know. Spirit of things, we lose our sight when we put our trust in things of this material world, of things that fade away. Let me keep coming back, 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 keep coming back. Of things we know.
Fill me out with your smile. Now the sunshine brings the light. Fill me out with a flame. I will let you in this game. Take me out when I'm down. 'Cause with you I'm safe and sound. 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 I'm safe and sound.
now arriving at Lijiang Tower.
Together, we are strong.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you are in the world. We welcome you to the Overtime Champions group here for our first NA playoff here in the Season 3 playoff mode. We have our teams between Superior and Voltage going off to see who is playing it here in the NA playoffs. Joining me today here on the color side is my friend Bite Me. What's up, my man?
Nothing much, my dude. I'm just here ready for a really nice game. It seems like we're going to be doing something nice. With Team Voltage, the man with the plan, the electric team, is going to be rocking a Moira Zenny comp. And, you know, Team Superior, of course, is going to be running a more traditional with Mercy and Zenyatta. It seems like they're going to be start clashing right about now.
Control Center is our first map here. Lijiang Tower, our first map in the first round here in the best of 5, first of 3 already. And we're already going to see a good team fight. Both sides trading up a little bit with that D-Mech from Gohan. So you'll see a little bit of team plays here, and already you can see Voltage pushing up as the control point unlocks here in Control Center. And it's only one person so far, not many people staying here, but on the fight there, it's going to be Voltage winning fight number 1, and they get the first strike on the point.
And I'll tell you what, Doomfist isn't that common. I'm going to be honest, I've yet to see Doomfist actually come out and be applicable, but he's playing in a small room. He's already gotten on a few picks, mainly off on Poly, which I was really impressed about. The Zenyatta fell, and now he's sort of putting himself in those small areas, so he knows he can get the punches and he knows he can get the crits.
And speaking of the punches, you just saw Gindrak go right in the backfield of them, trying to get a pick off, and it's successful on Gohan, and that allows the rest of his team, including Kiro Zaruri and Killua, in the backfield. And Gindrak, once again on that Doomfist, like you said, is not popular, but right now it's working for Voltage in their point. They're holding it for 35% right now. And
seems like Junkrat was able to sort of pull out of there a quick second, so he's not going to be feeding the enemy team any. And this is, I feel, is going to be a normal push. They don't really have any ults, of course. They have airs, and they actually do have airs and their Hanzo's ult. So maybe we might be looking at a grab dragon coming off on the side of Superior right now.
Here comes the Coalescence coming in already. Meteor Strike as well, so 2 ults coming in for Voltage right now. Gindrak's going to have himself a kill with that Doomfist Meteor Strike, as well as the Coalescence coming in for Brainiac. So everybody going down at that point, and the only ones that are alive, that's Zarya Hanzo combo, but they're going to hold off on it, and Voltage has themselves another good push.
And of course, Gindrak gets the nice dagger, and this is just a clean fight. It seems like there was a misclick there by the Zenyatta, but that shouldn't be affecting them as well as they've been playing. Of course, it probably is, but you always have to assume that these players know what they're doing, and maybe that was just a nice little BM ult, but not very teamy.
So we'll see a lot of pushes here. We'll see the last team fight push here for Superior, actually, here on Control Center. Here is the...
No, it was eaten!
It was eaten up, apparently. Yes, it was.
President Yum Yum!
Dragon Strike gonna come right down the middle, not gonna get anybody. Poly with that junk tire though, and Killua with that Deadeye. So all the ults coming out here. Superior's gotta hold this point here. Though Voltage is gonna get a kill on Dresden, on Gohan, so that's gonna allow them to push up. The only one on this point right now would be Kiro Zaruri for Voltage right now. Superior has themselves a good bit of push here. Air and at Miyoko here, still holding the point. They're gonna get themselves a few kills, but here comes the Meteor Strike in for Gindrak, and that
is the C9! The C9, that's extra hard.
And C9 here, I guess the C9 coming in as Superior completely ignores the point, trying to get away from that Meteor Strike, and it's Voltage that takes point number 1 here on Lijiang Tower.
I'm gonna be honest, I didn't think that Voltage had it in them for that when the Junkrat And then the Doofus came out, I'm like, oh, they start pushing it right now. They're just gonna lose a lot of time. They're already at 99%. But then they come in and they somehow get them to C9. I'm like, delicious. Keep it up, keep it up. In on the side of Superior, there doesn't really seem to be any switch in the team comps. But now Superior has decided to switch on to Tracer and on to Pharah. So I guess they're expecting to have a more long range. They want to back up and they don't want to be in the line of fire. So hopefully this will go for them the way that they think it's gonna go.
And you see at Miyoko also switching on over from that Reinhardt we saw earlier, trying to push that up on the point for Superior. He's moved on over to the Winston, so how much does a Winston now coming into the Garden, and how much do you think that affects the gameplay here for Superior?
That's going to be huge. So now they can't leave their Zenny in the backline, as you just saw, sort of got destroyed by the Winston just jumping in there. Now they sort of need to be more ready to push back or to recenter themselves, so to speak, in order to go in for another push. As Air's already 50% away to his pulse bomb, you do need be looking back for this, because this is a lot of backline spam is what I'm seeing.
And yeah, like you said, backline spam, because right now they're not allowed to get out of that first gate. There's the rockets by Farah, clearing out Kiro's Zarodi. So Kiro's going to have to reset, or the team from Voltage is going to have to reset after Kiro just doesn't have an answer for that. Can't charge back into the map there, and he's off the map. So Voltage going to have to push back. A little bit of a different story than we saw back on Control Center. Now here on the Garden, it's Superior that's holding the point really well.
Yanija actually switch off to Brigitte, probably hoping to get, a nice little boop off with the whip and Nene. And from what I'm seeing right now is Polly is just putting a lot of downrange damage. He's up in the air, being just completely healed up and damage boosted by Supersonic, meaning that with even though they do have Chilla and Parrot Neek, it's just not enough damage downrange.
See already, at Miyoko and Supersonic in that backfield. Primal Rage is going to come out here for at Miyoko, trying to hold this point, but right now, 2 players on the point for Voltage, and unless anybody's going to be able to clear it out, here comes at Miyoko with that Primal Rage. Running out of time though, so not much he can do here to clear the point. Reddy is going to come into play with this D.Va though, is going to get controlled all over the place in a 4v1 situation. And again, on the flip, Voltage is going to have themselves the strike with 72% on the clock. Superior, and Voltage can't really afford another flip.
Yo man, the longer that you can contest those points for, the better. It doesn't matter if you stagger yourself over and over again. As long as you're not on 99%, you're getting benefit off of that. They're probably an opening pick off onto Karanit. Oh, that's gonna be really big. That's even bigger!
Here comes self-destructs by both sides. Polly going off in the Sparrow so far. 3 kills in this past team fight. President is gonna have himself the self-destruct on Reddy's mech, but Polly and Air there to cover for him. And Superior is gonna have themselves another flip. And so Superior now trying to take this to map number 3. But Voltage needs another flip.
Yeah, this is Voltage's time to probably just kill himself. This is their time to push in and start doing some real damage.
Speaking of real damage, here comes the Deadeye from Killua. Now, is this going to get anybody? It's the question. It is not. Air is going to punish it for it. Although Killua does get the DMAC in the meantime, but so far so good. Voltage winning the team fight, having themselves a little bit of a flip. The only person on right now is going to be Air from Team Superior. So here's the overtime, 99%, the full thing right now. Pharaoh Polly does have that rocket barrage, but elects not to use it and allows Voltage to take the flip.
What discipline from Polly that you do see, not popping her barrage when to be honest, most players at that skill level would really just love to pop their barrage right now and just deal a lot of damage, but keeping it ready, keeping it safe for the main fight's gonna do them a lot of good and make this way easier to take.
And coming into this team fight now, you're going to see the ult percentages here. 2 ults, maybe 3 coming from at Miyoko with that Primal Rage coming into this fight. Here's one from Voltage though, the visor here from Gindrak. And it's going to get Polly, but Gohan does take him down. So right now a trade going on both sides, Superior and Voltage. So a big fight happening as at Miyoko uses his Primal Rage. Trying to clear out the point here for Superior. Trying to get that flip. Does get a kill in the process, but it's going to have, and now it's 2v2 based on the tanks. Polly is going to use his rocket barrage right here to get rid of President. Self-destruct, not going to get anybody in the meantime, but right now, Voltage has themselves the point. Gohan defending by himself with this Zenyatta, so really just staggering all over the place going into the final point.
Yo man, like I said, staggering is the bomb as they're hitting up almost 87% already. This is gonna go on for a long time until I'm gonna guess ults end up overwhelming the other team. But it's gonna be like a long time before anyone's able to overwhelm someone.
And Ready, these ultimates not coming off of anywhere here. Ready's got that self-destruct on Kuro's Zarodi, but not much else. President's got himself a double kill right now, so really Voltage winning the fight here. Any overtime flips could happen here, and it's going to be Voltage that actually takes the point here. So team fight and the staggering last up in Voltage's favor as they win 2-0 here on Lijiang Tower.
Perfect match. I was sort of worried about Voltage in that second round, where they were running the Doomfist again. When Ginjik, of course, showing up, was running the Doomfist on the second map. I didn't think it was that viable. And here you're seeing in the edge, pointing that sick meteor strike down, and getting, I think it was a kill on Poly, and then finishing it off, wiping off the damage he had done onto both supports.
So you see that Doomfist coming into play with that play of the game for Voltage. And how big was that Doomfist going into that game?
Doomfist first round was extremely good for the first round, but not that good for the second one.
All right, so I believe, unless if we're saving this for the next round, I believe we have our two analysts here in Artisan and Rien joining us in just a second here, but they're going to be our two analysts for the day, and if not, they may come in during halftime as well. I don't know where they are, but really a good game from, let's talk about this game though. First NA playoff coming here, so really a lot of teams watching to see here whether or who's going to win and which team is going to really be a factor inside the playoffs. So we're going to have ourselves a good matchup here. So Superior is going to have to get themselves a win to try and tie it up here 1-1.
Yeah, I'm going to have to stop you there, as we are going to have to welcome our analysts in Ryan, but there we go.
And there they are. Here's our two analysts here. We'd like to welcome them in Artisan and Rien here into the analyst booth. Hello, hello. So what did you guys see during that first map here in Voltage's 2-0 win on Lijiang Tower?
You know, what I saw was Jindrak on that Doomfist, and what he would do, and I really like this strategy that the Voltage pulled out, is what they would do is they would have Jindrak dive in on the back line of the supports and try to get a pick, or if not, do as much damage as he could. And then when the Superior would kind of turn around to try and deal with Jindrak, who was in their back line messing with the team, then the rest of the Voltage would kind of sweep in and try to do as much damage as possible. And that led to a lot of the wins of the fights that we saw, because it just kind of shocked the Superior and came out of nowhere, and then they didn't really seem to know how to deal with it.
And let's go ahead and talk about Superior not being able to take control of it. So coming up in our next map, so what does Superior really have to do to try and take over Voltage here to try and tie the map 1-1?
I feel like probably stopping the Doomfist here. Like, what map is it next? Did they say?
It is going to be an escort map next, so payload.
All right, well then, yeah, I'd probably watch out for the Doomfist there. I feel like Superior was like kind of tentatively going in, kind of being careful around the Doomfist instead of just going in, which led to him kind of getting some traction on the supports.
Yeah, because you need to remember, right? Doomfist is honestly fairly easily countered, but you just have to make sure that you have the resources to do it. And we kind of saw that, Superior did, make the switches over to the double hit scan, and then they did shut down the Voltage dive. Once that happened, that's how they retook the point, and they just need to do that more often, where they work as a team to just everyone, when they know the Doomfist is going to go in on them, and then they shut down the Doomfist, and then 5v6 suddenly in your favor, turn around, deal with the rest of the team.
Yeah, and that 5v6 I did see where like Poly apparently died unexpectedly, where the Voltage kind of capitalized on that, pushed in real quick.
Yeah, exactly. And when Poly died as the Pharah on the shrine map into the water, then the Voltage wisely went in and capitalized on that. So it shows that the Voltage, they know when to push in, and they know when to kind of get out, because we saw sometimes that the Superior, Amico, and then the D.Va as well, on the point, they were ulting, and then they were kind of just staying on the point and feeding a lot of ult charge to Voltage, which meant that they had the ult advantage for the next fight, which meant that they were going to win eventually.
All right, so if I may ask, we're coming into Watchpoint Gibraltar in our next map. So really, what should, in this kind of escort map for Watchpoint, what should we be watching for coming into this next game from both teams?
Probably Pharah Mercy. I see it a lot in my rank, at least. Where they kind of pull out the Pharah Mercy, possibly some Widow duels as well.
Yeah, Watchpoint, definitely a Pharah Mercy Widow kind of map. So it's going to come down to if the teams have a Widow, then which Widow player is better. And you know, you could also see a dive comp, you know, on Escort. It's kind of unconventional, but you do see it sometimes brought out on defense because it has some value as a comp itself, but you know, definitely fallen out as of late with Brigitte. So if they do pull out a Brigitte or a McCree or something to shut down the main dive, then whichever team might be running the dive is going to be hard pressed.
All right, so we're going to move into our next map, Watchpoint Gibraltar. So I thank both of you guys for coming in, and we'll see you guys after the next map.
All right, no problem.
See you.
All right, see you guys. All right, thanks to Artisan and Rien for their input here in map number 1. Now we're on map number 2, Watchpoint Gibraltar. So, quite me, a lot of good points there coming in from both of our analysts. But what do you expect coming into this map?
To be honest, I like the idea of the Widow. The Widow is, I feel like, definitely, and you do see Karen Neat. Oh, switching off to Lucio, actually. I do expect a Widow, but I don't expect a Pharah. Pharah has fallen out of play in many pro meta games because of the viability of Widow. Although you do see Pharah sometimes, she is a lot less used than when she used to be. She used to be way more used, I'd say, back in the beginning of Overwatch League and back when it was actually sort of beginning. But now that we sort of continue down, we see that the viability of Widowmaker and Soldier come up a little bit more to the point where Pharah can't really be used. And from what I'm seeing right now, neither team is going to opt in to be running Widow either. So it's going to be a lot more divey. Seems like a dive defense coming off from Superior and a dive offense, a full dive offense coming in from Voltage. So I'm expecting it to be straight through the tunnel or hopping up on the balcony, coming straight and taking the team from behind and then going straight for the point and trying to drive it as far as they can while maybe keeping the Lucio on point.
And already you can see all the team fight happening right here up on that bridge up top. But already it's going to be Superior that's winning so far with 2 kills in this team fight. And that's going to push Voltage all the way back as Kiru and Zarudi, the tank, and Inija going down for their healer as well. So Voltage resetting. But here comes Gindrak on this Doomfist, as we've seen on Lijiang Tower, going to from the back line, is going to get a kill though, and that's going to allow Voltage to move up a little bit.
That was great. Getting that pick off on the Zenyatta gave him a lot more space, and we're gonna see the Winston be diving right now, and Gindrak coming out on the side. It's sort of like a it's sort of like a serpent, you know, constrict them until they end up falling.
So the D-Max by Gindrak again, this Doomfist, but here comes Kalua on this Genji as well, and as our analyst said earlier, Brigitte coming out for Ready as well, coming out onto Ready as well. So Brainiac on that Brigitte really helping out his team, and this payload just keeps moving along for Voltage.
Yeah, this aggressive playstyle is definitely helping them out, keeping almost one or two people on cart, while everyone else goes in the front and starts putting a lot of pressure in, allows the team to have way more room and gives Superior less and less room to the point where they control half the map.
And literally they're less and less room. They just ran out of room here on point number 1, and 5:10 on the clock already. Voltage has themselves a good push and already pushing up to the next point here, as they've already got themselves 3 kills, 2 of them courtesy of Kiro Zarudi. So really this Winston for Voltage really working out in their favor in this aggressive gameplay.
It's also isn't helping that Voltage right now. Superior right now is sort of staggering themselves. You see Gohan and Ready are still in that front line, but they've sort of been tempted to stay there instead of completely pulling back with their team, which they should have done. Even though they did win a sort of 2v1 duel, it's going to be a lot more helpful if they learn to back up when they should.
Sunbearer is going to drop, and here comes Polly with the Dragon Blade at the same time as Killua. And here comes the Transcendence out from Gohan to try and save some teams some health here from that Dragon Blade, which is a good play so far, as that's going to keep Superior in the game, and Voltage is going to have to push back after the stagger.
And sort of opting to take that aggressive play style, Superior is able to now push up on them now and sort of stop them from doing their advanced push, which is a good and not so good idea. If they're able to take out 1 or more people, they're gonna have a really easy push in this next push. But if they're able to do it successfully, this can be up to a minute or a minute and a half of defended time.
President using that self-destruct to try and clear out the road a little bit, and here comes Kriniat with that rally as well. So Voltage trying to give themselves some space, but at Miyoko with this Winston so far, I think we've seen a lot of the Primal Rages coming out from both sides, but at Miyoko really winning the Winston battle so far on both maps average. But right now, just the team fight's just staggering one against another right now.
And you know, Winston's ult is a great idea of how you create room for your team. By using the Winston ult, at Miyoko, instead of going in there trying to do damage, he instead opts to separate the team. By putting in at 2 points where he's back, pushing the tanks back and back, he's able to let his DPS and Diva hop on the squishies and then utterly decimate them.
And let's talk about this too, because the team comp seems to be a little different as Reddy gets himself a double kill there. You see a little bit of a different team comp. Supersonic on that Moira, and then Gohan on the Zenyatta. On the other side though, Inicho with that Mercy, and not much else, I don't think, or Craniat on the Brigitte too, so really 4 healers on the board, but none of them the same.
Well, as you sort of as you sort of noticed, more and more players are adopting more and more supports, and Brigitte has honestly become a support to where she isn't a support. She's a support if your main support is that good to the point where you feel you don't need another support. Brigitte is an excellent choice, although most pro teams still opt to do triple support, just because of the reliability and the straight up healing that it can get. You could probably heal through your ult with triple support. So having this Brigitte is more than saying we don't need another support. We can run with our main support and then Brigitte doing some DPS and supporting on the offside.
And so that team fight, that last team fight there, Superior losing a lot of players. Voltage is going to have themselves point B, 3:33 left on the clock. And these last 2 turns here coming into the home stretch here is going to be super important, as Superior is going to have to try and hold them off for 3:35.
Superior is doing a really lackluster job in defending, and see, they're sort of splitting themselves up on this open ground. You saw both the supports were on the left side, and then you had the tank and then Zenyatta on the right side. But we do see a switch over to Widow. So maybe with the hopes of Widow, they're hoping to get a pick off on the Gindrak, and with that, with Polly, I'll literally take it here.
Gohan using the Transcendence after a self-destruct by President, and lands up with him dying here. So Gindrak's still on this Doomfist, and that Meteor Strike, as well as the Death Blossom from Killua, still looking around here. Polly's gonna get himself the kill on Killua, as well as Gindrak. So both of the players with the ults for Voltage going down, and that forces Voltage to reset themselves. So I would say a good first defense for Superior so far.
Winston still can again. Winston is pushing them up into spawn instead of denying them team viability or being in a nice little circle. He's sort of stopping them from leaving spawn.
Rally coming out for Craniat now for Voltage, as well as the Primal Rage coming out for the Winston from Kiro Zaruti. So right now trying to see if they can use those ults to kind of space them out. Gindrak gets himself a Meteor Strike kill on Reddy, so that's going to take out the Widow for now. A little bit more space for Voltage to work with as they try to push this point, but still, that point right there, Polly is contesting that point with no tomorrow in mind, and Superior has themselves a little bit of a defense, but Voltage is going to get around this corner as they bring it into the home stretch.
Definitely, as you probably know, having a Widow on your team doesn't mean it's the end all be all. It's mostly just, you know, we're gonna give you that extra stress that you probably don't want, but you can have it.
So right now you see Polly on this Genji appearing a lot on this kill feed and not on the death side, more like the attack side right now. And really Polly's got his Dragon Blade coming up here. A minute and a half left. Voltage has to find an answer to try and take down Superior's defense, with Polly having that Dragon Blade ready to go.
Definitely, and with Killa having his ult and President as well, it's gonna be a rough push, to say so the least. Gindrak doesn't necessarily need to be doing anything for this fight other than getting kills, but it's such an open space that it's gonna be hard for Gindrak to find anything at all.
Speaking of the Dragon Blade, here goes Polly with his first attack. Gets Craniat in the backfield. Self-destruct also coming out for President. Also going to get him skill on Supersonic. Gindrak in the backfield on Reddy. So right now, a 2-to-1 trade in favor of Voltage right now. Gindrak with that Doomfist still causing troubles for Superior as he takes down Gohan at the same time. So Gindrak really on this Doomfist, appearing 3 times on that kill feed, 2 for the kill, and 1 on the D-Mech. And right now, Superior's gonna have to find an answer right now as they approach the home stretch. 35 seconds left to go on this point.
Kerr has his shield up, trying to stop anyone from even entering the battlefield, but you can't shield off a Tracer, and that's going to be Voltage taking the first round. Now, I think they had around 1:20 on time, right?
Actually, that dwindled, after Superior's defense, they dwindled all the way down to 28 seconds here. So really, Superior's going to have themselves a little bit of an open door if they get down to point number 3. 28 seconds on the clock is not a lot of time. So Superior's going to have themselves a little bit of a challenge, but they may have more time than they realize.
I'm wondering if Gindrak is going to opt to play Doomfist again. And the first point is very open as well as the third point, but the second point isn't. So he might be outweighing the pros and cons. He might decide that the second part of the map is one of the most important parts, and just straight up play. Or I think he might play something like Soldier to contest any dives, and there he is picking Soldier right now. We're not seeing any deformation of Superior's comp right now. They're running what they've run for the last round, and I don't expect them to switch off it. It's running tried and true. That sort of semi-dive defense works really good for these types of maps and for these types of situations as well. On the side of Voltage, though, it's gonna be tough to tell how they're going to defend. Even though we do see the Reinhardt coming out, we do see a one sniper, and I'm gonna be honest right here. Hanzo has sort of come to the point where he's better than Widow, with his ability just to rapid fire arrows and that supersonic era as well. It's such a good pick. You're basically killing yourself not choosing him.
And so now you've got that, like you said, that Hanzo coming out here. This Hanzo Zarya really important coming down here. Voltage now in the defense as they switch sides. Superior now on the attack, and you'll see Polly stick with this Genji, so we'll see if that becomes a factor. We really haven't seen any big ults thus far, but we're only 2 maps in so far, so plenty more action to go. As you see up on this bridge right now, only 3 people up on this bridge, both of the supports, Supersonic and Gohan, staying on this point as they approach turn number 1 here on the first point.
Probably in the back line, trying to check out the Zenny, but he's gonna have a little bit of trouble since Gindrak has opted to stay with him.
And Polly taking down Kiroza Rudy, so that's going to push back Voltage just a little bit as one of the tanks goes down. So really just trying to pick off the tanks here first as they're looking for it, and Killua has themselves to pick on Polly. So right now, 1-for-1 trade as Superior is going to have themselves a little bit of a push, but turn number 2 is going to be hard as Voltage has themselves a team fight ready to go.
Superior is doing a nice push, but I feel like Voltage's defense is great. They got picked up once, and then they all backed up so that no one's left out of this. No one's left out. They're not going to be defending a fight that they can't fight.
And you're already going to see Killer Kill on this D.Va, working it well. Cranian and President go down. Here comes the Coalescence from Supersonic as well. And already 5:20 on the clock. They're going to have themselves 10 extra seconds on point B than Voltage did earlier. So Superior's got themselves a little bit of a better push. Reddy gets himself a pulse bomb kill after that, getting a kill on Killua as well. So good push by Superior so far as they get into point B.
Savage plays, if I do say so myself. I couldn't help but suppress a squeal when Reddy got in that back and just popped that sick pulse grenade. Anyway, we're seeing Gindrak in the back trying to do some backline damage, which he's actually gonna kill Gohan. I was gonna do some trash him.
So already we're gonna see another team fight here up on the airship here. Gonna try and come down here. Voltage is gonna try and give themselves a defensive strike. And here comes the Earth Shatter. I believe that's going to be from Kiroza Rudy. Gets the tackle on Killer Kill as well as the Fire Strike on Supersonic. So 2 good kills for Kiroza Rudy so far. Make it 3 on Polly as he swings the hammer away.
Swing, if I do say so myself. You can't stop the right hammer and his passion for winning this game. They're going to defend this with anything they can, and they're also going to throw into the Dragons in this fight with a little bit of potluck. Maybe they'll get a kill.
And it will be 0 kills for that Dragon Strike in the background, although Killua does get that pick off on Reddy, so there goes the Tracer fight. And right now, it's Voltage with the good defense. Polly's in the background now with his Dragon Blade. This could be huge. That's 1, that's 2. Maybe looking for more. He's going to try and get Rudy as well. And Killer Kill, the team of Killer Kill and Polly going to get themselves 4 total kills. Make it 5 on Ninja. And Killer Kill and Polly is going to have themselves the win for Superior as they approach point B.
Polly picking up the pace for his team. In fact, just straight up like winning that fight for his team with the D.Va doing a little bit of the back work. Polly fixing up the main weight, taking out 2 kills, bringing off all that load off of his team. He's gonna do a great job.
So right now, Killer Kill and Polly, one of them may have to play the game so far right now as they have themselves 5 kills in that fight, and a self-destruct earlier. Killer Kill does not have his ult coming up in this team fight. Approaching turn number 2 here for the last point before the home stretch. You can see in the background though, at Miyoko with this Winston, and we haven't been talking about it much this map. He's been working in the background so far so well too.
The background workers are what make this game. And here comes the Coalescence, maybe just trying to do a little bit of trash damage while healing his team, which is a really good choice.
And here comes these Graviton Surge. Dragon Strike coming in. This could be huge.
Oh, it's gonna be. Oh, it was so close to being a quad kill.
It was very close, but doesn't get it. Kilua does get the kill on Polly, though. But Gindrak moving on over from that Doomfist to the Reaper this map, and he's got himself 2 kills as Voltage is going to push back Superior on this defensive hold. So the Zarya Hanzo combo really working out, and that pushes Superior back for another try.
Inisha almost ruining his entire team, popping that sorry, not Inisha. Gohan almost ruining his entire team by popping that Transcendence a little bit too early with the Cousins. Almost lost them that game. To be honest, if they had died, that could have been stopping them in the tracks for the rest of the game.
Polly with another Dragon Blade gets Inisha to start off and get Rainian. Both of the healers are down. Polly may line up himself another kill at Miyoko using that Primal Rage as well. So really the two ults coming up for Superior, and they have themselves a lot of kills. 3 players down right now. They're going to have to stagger as we're in the home stretch here for the point. And if this reaches here, they may not have a lot. They may have a lot more time than Voltage does coming up in the next round if they get this.
God, Polly is the hype man for this, doing almost a lot of damage as well as Ready, but gotta focus on Polly. He's doing a lot of damage with his ult while Ready is doing a lot of background damage. You just can't help but see the Dragon Blade. You just want to scream as Voltage Superior is getting so close to just winning this.
Kilua's got himself the Tracer just running around trying to help out the contesting point, but Kilua's going to go down. But at the same time, Winston coming out here for President 2, but it's not going to be enough. The stagger is not enough for Voltage to carry on this defense. All 6 players on fire for Superior, and that's what helps them get into the home stretch at point number 3. And bear in mind, they have a lot more time here too. Voltage is going to have a minute left, but Superior's going to have themselves 3:14 as Voltage prepares for their 1-minute attack.
Now Superior is going to be saying, Voltage, you might have the upper hand on control maps, but we'll decimate you on Escort. And that's being said, with 3 minutes to 1 minute, you have to wonder, is Voltage going to be able to get the opportunity to do what they really want for this map? Is Superior going to reign above? And I think that definitely is. Their playstyle definitely supports this kind of map and this kind of push instead of the normal control map that we saw last match.
And so as we prepare for the attack of Voltage one more time, they've only got a minute left to go. Like you said, a huge minute difference here as you're going to see the team comms come up here. Ready moving on over from that Tracer to the Hanzo, so maybe looking out for some far end picks. And at Miyoko, and otherwise everything else stays the same. But really, let's talk about the back play here. At Miyoko with this Winston in the backfield, looking so good so far, and everybody else just helping him out after that.
It's just been delicious. He'll jump in there, he'll pop his ult, he'll split up the teams perfectly, but what I want to talk about is Killa onto the Pharah. That's going to be, this could be double-edged. This could be amazing or this could be terrible, but I'm going to opt for it to be really good. If he's able just to disrupt the team and give something that they're not expecting, it's going to be huge.
So we're going to see something similar here to start off here. Voltage is going to try and take out Superior on the upper bridge here to start off, and they've already got themselves turn number 1, so far so good. 40 seconds on the clock though. Superior's got to have themselves a little bit of work here as they try to defend. Coming into this important dip, the uphill-downhill advantage here. And so we're going to see if Superior can hold themselves off for another 30 seconds.
I feel like Ad did a weird choice, deciding to go for Killa instead of the backline supports. Of course, we did have Cranium with them as well, but in the end, I don't feel like it was worth it at all.
Dragon Strike coming right down the middle. That's going to be courtesy of Ready, but he's not getting any kills here. And so Vultures may have themselves point number 1 here with only 5 seconds left to go. Kilua in this backfield with this Pharah gets the DMAC and the kill on Killer Kel. So right now, Pharah working out so far for Voltage, but Kiro Zarudi also keeping this Winston in play, and he's got his ult ready to go as well. So really, Voltage with a good push, even though they have no time on the clock.
What Spirit needs to do right now is they need to sort of back out. They need to regroup. All they need is one really good push, but they don't have the ult to support it. Now, Voltage, on the other hand, has 3 ults. They can keep this going for the second and maybe half of the third point. But it all depends on how they play it. If they can spread these ults out consecutively, if they can ration them properly, they can basically win this.
And so we're going to see Voltage is going to have themselves the first 2 turns, and Superior is going to have to try and figure out what's going on here. Kirua Zaruti with this Winston. So impressive so far as he gets a Primal Rage kill and Gindrak on Amioko, so that takes care of the Winston on their side. And they may very well have themselves the second point here. They're only 0.28 meters away from it. Gohan and Killer Cow trying to hold it, but it is unsuccessful. And so still with overtime and no time on the clock, it's the second point here coming up for Voltage. They may very well have 3 if this works out so well.
And I think it will work out with Gindrak now sniping his ult, as well as Unija almost onto his Transcendence. It's going to be seeming like this is going to be leaning towards Voltage, although you can't discount that Poly does have his ult, and he is darn good with his ult. So if they can position him properly, he might be able to end this in one foul swoop.
And Superior now, like earlier on point B, staying back, allowing themselves to try and set up something. Both self-destructs coming out at the same time. Killer Kel's with the double kill. Poly on that Dragon Blade, starting us off, so Inija's gonna have to pop the Transcendence to try and help out his team contest on the overtime. Inija's gonna get punished though, as he's in a 3v1 situation, and he's gonna die, and that's gonna be the quick overtime. And the only thing they need as they approach the home stretch, it's gonna be Superior with the defense, but 2 good points and a lot of meters held in that third point for Voltage, so Superior's gonna really have to work hard here, but they've got 3:14 on the clock.
That was an amazing final ult with Poly coming in. Of course, that Transcendence didn't help them, but they were able to get 2 of the most important people off dead in an instant. With Killer Kel coming in and popping his nuclear bomb, it was able to take out the Mercy and Farah, the devilish duo who will ruin your day any day of the week, and they're done with that for the fight. Although they are gonna opt to run it again for defense, but I don't feel like it's gonna work out. It might work out properly for offense, but on defense you have that attacking thing. You have people coming for you. You're not the one initiating, but they are.
And so they pushed it all the way 65.5 meters to that third point. Killua gonna stay on this Pharah that we saw was very effective on the first 2 points and all the way up until their final push, but not much of a change going on Superior side. So really it may be already back on that Hanzo still on the attack mode. So we may very well see the same fight. It's just how each of them uses this fight.
Definitely. And to be honest, I feel like even though I've sort of dissed Widow in the beginning of this map, Ready on Widow would probably be a better choice, because you have the hit scan, you don't have to worry about arcing it whenever you're facing that Pharah.
So the Pharah Mercy coming out here for Killua as well as his partner Brainiac right now. So 3 supports, 1 DPS and 2 tanks coming out for Voltage right now. As Gindrak moves over from the DPS role to the support role on the Brigitte. Ready's gonna pick him off to start this team fight though. So but let's take a look at this kill feed right now. Kirua Zaruti with that Winston working really hard for Voltage. And so really Voltage has themselves a good tank in mind with Kirua Zaruti so far in this map.
And it's sort of a thing where Voltage only needs to kill a few people for them to win that fight. If you can take 1 or 2 people down, mainly the supports, the fight is dead. They need to regroup and they need to wait.
So Payload only makes its way around the first turn, but coming into the dip, super important here. Kirua Zaruti in this backfield as well, and not getting any kills, but does put some damage in and allows his team to get some kills here. And like you said, they only need a few kills to win the team fight. So far, so good for Voltage.
Now, Killua does have his ult. I'm sort of scared about it. If he pops ult in a bad spot, he's gonna get sniped by Ready.
So we saw Voltage already getting the first point. Voltage got the first point in 1 minute. Right now, Superior not having an answer. They've already used up more than 1.5 minutes right now, and they don't have themselves point number 1 as they approach turn 2 here on the first point.
Definitely, and it's getting a lot worrisome. And like I said, Killa has to be very careful. Oh, he gets ready, but he has to be careful of how he barrages, because anyone can take him out at this point.
President gets the kill, self-destruct kill on Killer Kel right now. Inija on Poly. So right now, this team from Voltage really doing that push. 4 kills in that last team fight for Voltage, and Superior is going to need to find an answer fast. They don't even have the first point, and they have 1.5 minutes left to go.
Voltage, the electric team, winning this team fight, which stopped Superior straight up in their tracks. They don't have any ults. Of course, they have ATM and they have Poly's ult, but those just don't work together. They need to be amazing individual ults for them even, but with Poly running so low, he might get picked off.
So we're going to see ourselves another team fight here. Voltage staying up top here. 60 seconds remains. Superior needs to really find an answer here, but they have Polly. We've seen him on this Dragon Blade so far, and he has been working well with it, Killua with this Rocket Barrage. So we will see when these ults, or if these ults come out for this next team fight. As you'll see it, here comes the Dragon Blade by Polly in the backfield, looking for the kill on Ninja, and that works out so far. Self-destruct also coming in, but how about Polly getting a double kill on both of the healers here? Killer Kells, so Supersonic and Gohan with their help gets point number 1 here with 30 seconds left to go here on the payload. But Superior, even though they had 3 minutes and 15 seconds on the clock, only had 30 seconds when they hit point number 1. Now they really got to find an answer here in point number 2.
I feel like they should opt for a normal strategy. They should probably get a Lucio. Probably get Serena and pick off on this first half of the game, but they should keep 2 or 3 people on the cart and then straight rush with everyone else.
So right now, Polly working in that background right now. Killua gets the kill on already, so that Pharaoh Widowmaker, kind of like a sniper battle, going in Killua's favor right now. Here comes the Coalescence coming out for Supersonic as a self-destruct coming up. It's gonna get at Miyoko, so that's the tank down. So really, Superior's gonna need to stagger here as they've only got 3 people on this point ready to go.
The electric team down against the odds on overtime now, but they were able to come back and they're gonna win round 2.
Voltage shocks
Superior.
Voltage shocks Superior here in round number 2. After only having a minute on the clock, gets 2 points, and it is enough to win it 5-4 here on our Watch Point Gibraltar. Play the game going to Polly, and really a combination of Polly and Killer Kell here in this play of the game.
You saw that amazing push. What Polly did was he ulted, and then what Kill did, Polly ulted, he went for the kills. And then what Kill did is he arced his nuclear bomb or self-destruct so that it could land perfectly in that sort of middle area, giving them the room to do what they need to do.
All right, and so a good match nonetheless, but a 5-4 victory for Voltage here on Watchpoint Gibraltar. We're gonna bring back in our 2 analysts here, in Artisan and Rien. Welcome back, guys.
Hey, what's up?
Hey.
What's up?
Time in the den.
Yeah, so welcome back. So 2-0 for Voltage now. Superior's going to have to really work hard. Watchpoint Gibraltar, though, a really good map for both of these teams, but it's Voltage that comes out with the win. What did you guys see on your end?
You know, what it was, and Superior did look a lot better on this map, I will say. They identified how to shut down the Voltage so far, and you saw the counters come out onto Jindrak to kill him. But what it was is that the Superior have a kind of specific way of going about it, and they play very aggressively, both teams, actually. But what Superior does is you have at Miyoko jump in on the Winston and play very far forward and aggressive, and then that splits up the team and splits up the tank, so they have to deal with at Miyoko. So that lets Polly kind of sweep into the back line and get a lot of kills with him on the Genji, which, you know, we saw that all his different blades and all his multi-kills were because at Miyoko beforehand would dive in and then split up the team and give Polly that room to kind of pop off.
Yeah, there has to also be a balance with Miyoko's like offensive Winston play, because it seemed like at certain points he was not diving in at the right, like not diving in, you know, with the team, or diving in too early and stuff. Yeah. And then also, I really liked how the Lucio and the Zen kind of used their ults instead of, you know, protecting against the enemy's things. They kind of used it to keep the Genji popping off.
Yeah, and Killer did that too on the Diva. I noticed in one of the blades that Polly did. He stayed so close to Polly and then was matrixing him the entire time to keep him alive, and then getting in the face of his targets as well to distract them and giving Polly that room for the blade. So I think the tanks are doing a good job of giving Polly that room, because that's what you got to do as the tanks, right? And then for the support play as well, I think on Voltage, Krani is doing a really good job as the Mercy. I was watching his positioning, and it's really good. You know, he's playing around corners and places that it's hard to get in and take him out. And then you have the tank line too. You know, you saw the switch to Ryan, and they would use that shield from Karua. And for the most part, you know, they're doing a good job of keeping Krani alive, and he's doing a good job of dancing around the fight on the Mercy and keeping himself alive as well.
And so we're coming into our next map here. Superior's got to find a way here to try and reverse sweep Voltage here because they're down 2-0 right now. Voltage looking really impressive. So what does Superior need to do to try and answer Voltage's call?
I'd say they need to work on coordination. You know, and that's kind of what me and Artisan were talking about for the most part, is that, you know, at Miyoko very aggressively, and he doesn't, we've seen him often dive in kind of 1v6 very, very deep, and that leads to a lot of kind of unnecessary deaths, right? Right, Artisan? That's
Yeah, I feel like he was definitely a bit too aggressive, and like it worked in certain situations, and then he tried making it work again, and you know, Voltage was just a bit too smart for that.
Mm-hmm. The times it did work, that was when he had the support from Reddy and Polly, and the times where it didn't work, that was when he was diving in 1v6. So he's just got to make sure that when he does dive in, he's got the support.
Definitely.
All right, so now we're going into our next map here, which is going to be decided in just a little bit. Killua for Voltage is going to ban Anubis so far, but really, so Superior's got themselves a lot of work, like and you guys were just talking about this, but is there a certain player that really needs to that is already doing good for Superior or Voltage that everybody else just has to build off of?
I feel like Superior's Genji has been definitely doing really well here, and you have to kind of give, you know, some credit to the supports as well with their ults to kind of keep everybody alive so they can pop off.
Yeah, and Polly definitely for Superior, and then for Voltage, it's gotta be Jindrak. They seem to be playing around him very well, and you know, you saw Killua as well, you know, playing that the Farm Mercy. So they did good in identifying that the Superior are aggressive and they try to run dive quite a bit. So they responded with the Farm Mercy because you got no hit scan to deal with that. So I'd say the DPS duo of Voltage and Jindrak and Killua are pretty much what the team is kind of built around.
Well, the next map is Hanamura. And before you guys give us your predictions about what they're going to play, just let me say that I am 1-0 because I got the predictions right. I said they would play Soldier, and they didn't play Farm Mercy.
Ooh. Oof. A little bit of an analyst color thing going on here.
I think Hanamura. I think what we're gonna see most likely is you want Rein Zarya.
Yeah.
If you're not running Rein Zarya on Hanamura, I'm just gonna say you're doing something wrong because it's so useful.
Yeah, I feel like I definitely want to see some Widow duels as well. We haven't been seeing that yet.
Flower turn up the game, be like pew.
Exactly, yeah. And Reddy did play Widow a little bit.
All right, so coming into Hanamura here, like you guys were just talking about. So, what are your guys' predictions here coming? Do you think Voltage can sweep them 3-0, or do you think Superior is going to have themselves a win to take it to game 4?
That's tough.
Yeah, I feel like go ahead.
I'm gonna say Superior because I think if at Miyoko and the rest of the team can kind of get the kinks sorted out and they don't play as aggressively, then I think they definitely have a fighting chance against Voltage.
And then in Artisan, your prediction as well?
I feel like you definitely have to give it to the underdog here. But I feel like if they can get their comms a bit more organized and definitely have that Zarya Hanzo together, then I feel like we could definitely be seeing some good things on Superior's side.
It's all on at Miyoko's shoulders pretty much to be more coordinated with the team.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thank you very much for joining us here for the in-between map 2 and map 3. So we'll see you guys after map 3. Thank you guys very much.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right, thanks to Artisan and Rianne one more time here on the Analyst Desk. So let's bring it back here live on Hanamura here for our next map. So an assault map here coming up. So what does Superior, in your mind, have to do to try and take over Voltage?
Superior just needs, like they said, that they got spot on this time. I don't think I can outpredict them because they did so good. Superior definitely, it's almost all at Miyoko. It's so much on his shoulders that he needs to be main tanking. He needs to be working with his team a little bit more. He's playing a little bit aggressive, and that might have just been pre-game jitters, and that I'm expecting that you roughed out right now. But unlike the dirty analysts who believe in the underdogs, I think Voltage will electrifyingly win this next map. They already have those kinks solved out, and even if they did have jitters, they're gonna be gone. They have Grind Rack on Doomfist, and they have Killa on Far. It's gonna be a very close match if Superior is able to pull up their pants and put on their big boy panties.
And man, you and the analysts have something a little bit going here because you're challenging everything that they're saying right now. So it's a little bit of a battle going on between Bite Me here as a color and the analyst here. So very interesting to see whose prediction is going to be right when we go back into the table. So team fight already happening here, starting off here, and it's going to be Superior on the defense so far. And talking about the Superior does have the answer right now as Voltage goes down in their team fight. So Superior has themselves a good push 40 seconds into this match.
Superior did an amazing job defending that. Instead of focusing on Killa, they straight up focused on that ground battle. It's like, oh yeah, we'll deal with you later, Far. Right now, we want to deal with who really matters. And by focusing on that ground battle, all of a sudden, whoa, Far is the only one there, and she doesn't matter anymore. She's gonna be an easy pick.
So Polly, we saw on that Genji earlier back on Watchpoint Gibraltar, and a little bit of our first map, Lijiang Tower here. Now moves on to the Pharah, and working so far as he gets 2 picks so far, so good. From Killua is still on that Pharah as well, trying to battle off Polly, but it's really looking like Polly winning the Pharah battle right now.
Yeah, and right now I see Grindrak. He needs to pull it together. He's playing Doomfist in a situation where I don't think Doomfist is actually viable. Every single time and right there, killed by air. What he needs to do is he needs to sort of either switch up or adopt the playstyle that's going to be working for us. He can't jump in with his ground slam and then hope that he's going to be in a position where he's going to get a nice punch and then start decimating the team, because he's going to get picked off by Miyoko, Polly, Air, Ryan. Gohan could even take him out. Supersonic could pistol him in any given situation.
And so coming up in this next team fight, actually, yeah, like you said, they might be taking out here. 6 ults coming up. Here comes the Graviton Surge.
Oh!
Coming in for Polly. That's
Yes!
too. Killua is going to add to that Rocket Barrage, though, taking down Polly, but Polly winning that Rocket Barrage battle 2-1. Supersonic gets the res on Polly right now. And here comes the rally from Ready as well. So really just trying to hold off. Superior's got themselves a good hold so far. The Earth Shatter coming out from Hiro Zaruti here. But still Polly and still lives here, but Polly gets 3 kills with this Pharaoh so far, and if he lands any more, we might see a card up here for Polly right now.
Oh my god, Polly's completely going off. I'm unsure, I can't see it if they are focusing down Polly in the beginning, but whatever they're doing to deal with Polly, they need to stop immediately. Industry, focus on Killa just got picked off by Polly. They need to stop focusing down on Polly. Start focusing on what really matters. Supersonic, Gohan, take out the supports, and the rest of the team will slowly crumble.
And here comes another Graviton Surge. That's going to come from Air. Now, is anybody going to follow up is the question.
Oh,
that Graviton Surge not coming out of anything here. No kills or anything. So the Graviton Surge really not doing much for Superior here. Voltage has themselves a tactical visor coming up for Soldier 76. So that very well could change the game here. But at
you can take out Farah, and if you can take out the Farah and Mercy, that's going to be a 1 push already. If you can do that with taking minor damage, it's going to be great. Oh, Polly's able to take him out!
Rocket Barrage here gets the double kill as well as the triple kill on Crania, so that takes out half the team. Air Ready takes out the Winston as well. Air is going to take out President, both the DMAC and President himself, and a really good push by Superior. Voltage needs to find an answer here. 10 seconds left to go on this clock.
Voltage is switch off to Lucio, but there's so little he can do with almost 8 seconds left. This needs to be a godly push, but I don't think it's going to help with 3 players already dead. This is most definitely going to be Superior's round.
Superior, let's say this, not even a tick, has the answer for Voltage for 4 minutes down. And now, this may be very well the shortest map here. Superior only needs a tick to win this.
Man, I want to see Superior do it, even though I'm not for them. With that last thing, it's going to be, with that defense, it was godlike. I didn't even think that something like that would happen. And now somehow Voltage is going to have to answer to that. But if they have the ability to answer to that, that's a different question. Like I said, I feel like they were doing wrong. I'm unsure if I was seeing it right. Was they were focusing a little bit too much on Polly. If they had focused on that ground battle and were able to bulldoze their way through, or maybe straight up go dive and stop relying on that Reinhardt as they did. I don't think that the Zarya was helping out Team Superior in any way on an off note of, going off of that. But I'm just wondering how they're going to be running defense as NGC president on the Symmetric. No, he's just screwing with the casters, like everyone just loves doing. But I straight up feel like I feel like Kiriduki shouldn't, however you say his name, because I am not ready to pronounce that. Can you say it one more time?
Kirua Zorudi.
Rosa, the unpronounceable team names today is gonna be running Ryan, but I feel like they might have a better chance right now running counter dive, or at least a slight counter dive, as they do have Mercy, they do have Gohan, and do have Ready. That's triple support. Triple support's meta, and triple support is so good that it's godlike in comparison to all these other metas that it's possible. Grind Rack can't really do anything right now. He's going up against supports with shields, and a shield bearing tank himself.
And so the analyst table one tick away from getting their first win. More importantly, Superior one tick away from getting their first win and taking this to game 4.
Oh.
And so already Superior's going to have themselves a good push. That Reinhardt Brigitte combo that we usually see, so far so good, gets the team kills. They're now inching their way to the tick here.
Superior's gonna slam-ambulance this.
And they're just gonna slam it in, and not so much trouble. There's the tick.
That was
Superior's
so
got it with
good.
no trouble.
I am so happy I was wrong. That was Decimation Station, and there's something that there needs to be an answer that I feel that Voltage was like, oh, they got over cocky. They thought this was gonna be an easy win, guys. We don't have to worry about this. But then Superior got rid of their mid-game jutters, and the ship was decimated.
So you'll see play of the game here by Pauly, and well deserved of it. He had himself a game that round, and you can see Pauly 66% kill participation and 23 eliminations there. So a big game by Superior all the way through, and Pauly in the shoulders. And our analysts are going to come in. Hey guys, you're 1-1 right now so far. You've got Superior with the win. How about that?
Yeah, what we say, boy? Yeah, that was awesome.
IQ. You see what it was, and how Superior won that is they put at Miyoko on the Rein Zarya, right? Like we said. And once you have the Rein Zarya, at Miyoko plays more passively. So that solves the problem that Superior had, where at Miyoko was too aggressive, because then they're just playing the choke. So he stands there with a choke, and then Pauly just goes up top and then just pops off and kills everybody, and then there you go, you win.
No, yeah. I have a statement real quick. Do you think at Miyoko unbound his W key?
Probably. I think they got him in the choke, and then they were like, okay, at Miyoko, unbind it. And then he was like, all right, went into settings, messed with that, and then no W. All he could do was hold shield and crab walk.
Nah, he didn't even go into settings. He grabbed a pocket knife.
Yeah.
All right, but yeah, and definitely Pauly with the he pretty much carried Superior on his back that whole game.
And so Pauly, like you said, coming in with that huge thing. So Superior, I mean, that's the first game I think that we saw Superior not having answer for anything. They had 4 minutes on the clock to try and get a push. They didn't get a single tick. So Voltage with 4 minutes on the clock, rather, they couldn't get an answer for Superior. So Superior really stepping up the game. So what did you guys see that changed the game for Superior, other than Pauly there?
Definitely the being slower with the tanks. Like Miyoko was definitely playing with a team, and I really like the Zarya. The Zarya grab was pretty nice.
Yeah, because and then the bubble too on Pauly, right? Because that was a play of the game actually. Pauly's barrages. You had Jindrak pop the visor, but it was shut down because Pauly went in, and then he got the bubble right away. So then that not only did it feed the Zarya energy to do even more damage, but it helped Pauly stay alive and kill him before they could die. Because I think the problem with Voltage is Jindrak seems to be a very kind of niche specialist, right? He plays Doomfist and he plays Reaper, and he's obviously very good at both of them. But then when you put him onto other roles that they need, that's where he kind of falters, right? Because he was on the Soldier and he wasn't really getting the value that you kind of want to shut down the Fire Mercy.
Mm-hmm. And so last question here. Superior avoiding the sweep here against Voltage. Now we go into King's Row, a very popular hybrid map. So let's take a vote here on our predictions here. Who do you think is going to win this one? Voltage, or does Voltage close it out, or does Superior take us to game 5?
I think if at Miyoko keeps his W key unbound, they win.
Yeah, I feel like definitely that, and with this is still a very good map for the what is it, the Pharah Mercy.
Hmm.
So if Poly keeps on playing his Pharah, it could definitely give them the edge here.
Yeah.
All right, so we're hopefully going to see Game 5 here from the analyst desk. So thank you guys very much for your input, and we'll see you guys after Game 4 and maybe going into Game 5.
We will see you then.
All right, thank you guys very much. So we move on to our next map here, Kings Row, and it looks like we are ready to play. So I want to get your prediction, actually. Do you think Voltage closes it out here, or do you think Superior takes it to Game 5?
Well, I'm gonna bring out this quick little fact I just found out. They just switched off one of their characters, one of their players, for their own Gohan 44222. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce that, but they just have their own Gohan, so it's gonna get pretty confusing in the casting channel. So I'm gonna call this dude G-Boy, and he seems to be it seems to be Voltage's very own dive tank. Winston, Diva, and Roadhog main. I also found out this: if you look on Grindrack's career profile, he has 77 hours on Bastion.
Wow.
Just dug up some dirt on this dude. Anyway, on to my prediction. I want to see what they're going to be running first, but they are right. If at Miyoko plays passively, if he keeps his WP unbound, they are most certainly going to be decimating on defense because Poly is so good. If they can't get through at Miyoko's wall, or even if they do get through at Miyoko's wall, Gindrak and everyone else who comes in is going to get decimated by Poly. He is on that level of playability where you just have to take a look at him. It's like, oh, this dude, he's coming into this game. Oh.
All right,
so seems like we're also going to switch off from Superior as well. I didn't catch who they switched off, but they did switch on their own, very own gold player, Fear Hype, who is another, they switched out the other thing, who is their own, again, very own main tank, it seems. Just avoided him by accident. His very own main tank, it seems he dabbles in some DPS, but he is a hard, solid Reinhardt player.
And so really subs coming in for both sides here. So what is, let's just say this, what do subs really do to the game? Because you're subbing in one player on each side. How much does that affect each team here?
It could affect things majorly. It could affect things minorly. This sub could be their main player. This could be who they play with the most and who they're going to be coordinating better with. Or their player just wanted to go see the new Overwatch thing because they just lost to New York. Just lost to LA Valiant, from what I'm hearing. So,
oh boy,
that's a big oof. And so maybe these two players have gone away and started crying for their fallen team.
Oh, so New York just lost to the LA Valiant. Oh wow, that's wow. That was a good that's a good game though. New York Valiant versus LA. I mean that's a huge game.
Yeah. Anyway, we are going to be now entering in Kings Row, the original map, the place where you saw Tracer get decimated by Widow. And you know what? I want to see that again on this map. But you know what I also want to see?
What do you want to see?
I want to see the sailboat. I want to see someone play Torb, Bastion, Orisa, and I want to see it fly all the way to Neverland.
All right, so Kings Row coming up here, as you saw, so changes on both sides here. So you're gonna see Fear Hype coming in for Superior, which may be a little bit of a change. He is a gold level player right now, and then on the other side, you'll see Gohan 44222. Don't know if it's a different player, but right now that's also considered a sub for Voltage as well. So really, we're talking about the subs here. Could be huge, but as you said earlier, Fear Hype is more of a tank main, but Fear Hype now dabbling on that DPS. He's on that Reaper right now.
You know, you just have to think, like, this is going to be a little bit of, and if not, at least a little bit of an iffy game. I mean, just think about it. What if these players just left and they just, like, went on their Smurf accounts and rejoined? They say, oh, you think I'm playing, you think I'm a sub, but no, I'm just actually the same player with a different account name. That would be pretty ballsy. I feel like that would be hilarious.
Yeah, that'd be pretty funny to see, like, oh, Smurf account. Oh, there you go. There's the next one.
Just gotta get on my Smurf account real quick. It has better skins.
better skins, and let me up the skill a little bit here as well.
let me up the skill a little bit. Let me make you fear.
Let's just up the tempo just a little bit here.
Even though it is default skins, in my heart, I can see the skins that I myself use. Here we have Soldier in his Michael Jackson skin, about to grab his crotch and do the hee. But we do seem to be having a Widow Gohan on the Widow, and what seems to be at Miyoko again on the Reinhardt with preferably his W key unbound.
And the big thing for me here, Polly sticking with that Pharah, staying on the Pharah from the last map Hunter where he went off that one, and no Pharah coming from Killua. So a different thing going for Voltage here as we approach the first team fight here, coming in the middle. So really, there's just push and shove as of right now until somebody can push the charge.
Definitely, and it seems like Voltage is going to be getting, Superior is going to be getting a little bit up with an upper hand with Amiyoko playing extremely passively. This is going great for them.
Amiyoko actually charging in, but watch Gohan here. He's the Zenyatta on fire, and so is Air. They've got themselves the first pick so far, and Gendrick just can't do anything as a Soldier up top right now. They've got the second ticket unless anything big happens right now. Air's got himself on fire, Gohan's got himself on fire, and that's already the payload moving for Superior.
That definitely is, and that was a really big play by them, being able to straight up just push through Gohan's wall, which I feel is why they got him. They got him to deal with Miyoko. All they need to do is, I feel, make Miyoko, bait him in. If you can get Miyoko to play a little bit more aggressively, then you're going to be able to start capitalizing on a lot more of their mistakes.
So here they come, 5 minutes on the clock, and they've already got it past the point, past this mid gate. So Voltage playing a little bit back now, knowing that they have to answer somewhere. Superior's on the move already in the first turn. So we're gonna see if the team fight for Voltage can work out here, but Superior's just pushing them back and back and back. And here comes the Valkyrie from Brainiac. At Miyoko with that Earth Shatter, gonna get Gohan. Dragon Strike coming right down the middle. Is that gonna get anybody is the question. Does
so
get
close.
Polly at the last second there in the background.
No,
So
taking out Polly might be what they actually need to get this push in, but it doesn't seem like it at all.
Air and Air coming out here, Fear Hype on the Brigina now. Air is having himself a game so far. As you can see, the last three players, Air, Fear Hype, and Gohan, the two supports and one tank, all on fire right now. And Fear Hype coming in with the sub, helping out his team. And Superior's got themselves a fast second point.
That was an extremely fast second point, and I feel like what they really need to do right now is to sort of take a step back and play heroes that they're more comfortable with. If they need to get Gindrak onto a different person, or they need to just try to play more defensively, so a point where they're not the one engaging. But it seems like we're gonna get a nice ult in here. It's so close to getting more people, but barely misses them.
Gohan with that Transcendence, and at the same time, here comes the Earth Shatter, not getting anyone so far. Right now, Superior and Voltage just pushing and shoving as both Mercies, Brainiac, and Supersonic has their reses. Here comes the Graviton Surge though, not getting anyone, but Polly and Gohan coming off here with two kills of their own. Polly in that backfield really working as well as Air. Superior may have themselves the last point here unless anybody can do it. Last 3 meters. And guess what?
Superior is gonna get the point in under 5 minutes. I mean, over 4 minutes with 4:48 seconds left. That is humongous. You can't really do better than that.
And my mouth is wide open, like gaping right now, because you're watching this team right now. 4 minutes on the clock, and here on a hybrid map, you usually see a team lose 4 minutes in competitive mode, lose anything under or go anywhere under 4 minutes. They just gained 46 seconds with an additional 4 minutes.
Surprise! The pre-game shutters that people have with this are humongous. We saw Superior come out; they were so close to getting the second map, but they were barely not able to get it. In Voltage, sort of, I feel, got over cocky there, but Superior, once those shutters came out, once their nerves finally calmed down, they were able to walk in here and start decimating.
And and decimating is the word, because they just walked into that point, no problem. So Voltage is going to have to find themselves a way to answer this call that Superior is bringing forward with ease already. So what does Voltage really have to do to try and answer the call as we see their team comms coming up here?
It's hard to say, but maybe Killa on the Pharah isn't the right idea. They've tried to run it once, and even though they don't have exactly what you would consider a hit scan, they have had an extremely hard time actually walking in on the point. So I feel like a dive or a dive-ish play would be better for them. But looking at their comp right now, what I think I see is Hair on the Zarya, hoping to play pretty aggressively in Fear Hype. So perhaps they're going for the stun. With Fear Hype maybe stunning Gohan. With President maybe stunning at Miyoko. They're hoping to get that, and then they're hoping once the stun comes in that Gindrak and Killa will output enough damage to the point where it's going to be impossible. Once that main tank is down, the other team's going to crumble.
And Voltage has to find themselves an answer. They gotta find it fast because Superior did it really fast. So Voltage is gonna have to try and reflect it here if they want any chance at the same time as Superior has. As we already go into the first team fight, you see the Pharaoh Mercy combo for Killua and Craniat, and really Poly all on his own, but right now working really well, trying to aim for Craniat, but Craniat's just avoiding everything possible. Team fight coming in here, Superior right on the point here. Superior's got themselves a good hold so far, but being pushed back here by Voltage. So Voltage is going to have themselves a little bit of a good push. Here comes Superior, though, with 3 kills of their own on the team fight. Make it 4, making the heir to the throne. This Zarya's working really well for them right now. At Miyoko's getting the tackle, and Gindrak is going to go down. And Voltage has themselves their first reset. Superior's got themselves their first defensive hold.
Man, Voltage could have won that push, but I saw it in Killa's eyes. He got greedy. He wanted to take out Poly. He needs to understand that he can ignore Poly all he wants. Poly is not to the point where he can get air shots every single day of the week. If Crane stays on him and he does damage on the ground, if he had taken out Supersonic or Gohan, that would have been so easy to continue that push.
So 2:30 on the clock now. Here comes another team fight. Superior is going to have another chance of defense, but Voltage, more importantly, going to have another chance here with an Earth Shatter. And Superior's going to have themselves a little bit of defense. Poly's got a Rocket Barrage going. There's 1, there's 2. Make it!
Oh!
Drop the mic, Poly. There it is, a quadruple kill. And Poly's got himself play of the game so far, but what a play by Poly. He's on fire. And what more can you say about Poly on this Pharaoh right now?
This is the reverse sweep coming in right now. I'm at the side with the analyst right now. Superior might just be able to do this, but it seems that there are some team problems on the side of Superior. I just can't nail it down where they're going wrong. I'm gonna think it's team play. Right now you see Killa and Crane up in the front line doing what's basically trash damage and feeding air the delicious ult that he wants and he needs. Right now Superior doesn't have the ult advantage. This should be Voltage's moment to start decimating everything.
Graviton Surge coming out now for air as well. Poly's got himself a kill on Craniat. That takes care of any reses coming for Voltage right now. Superior is just being Superior right now, just dominating Voltage right now. Air, I mean, I don't think I've seen Air die this, Air die at all this game right now.
This is the moment.
Have himself
Yes!
a Rocket Barrage. There's 1, there's 2.
Killa, I believe in you.
But Poly takes
if
him
they
out.
continue this push, if they just continue this push, they might be able to do it.
They might be able to, but right now Anicha's the only one there. Craniat with that Mercy trying to push up as well. Gindrak on this 76 trying to get that higher ground. Pushing Voltage back. Earth Shatter coming in, but Craniat's going to get at Miyoko at the right moment there. Letting that Earth Shatter happen, but not much else. And Voltage breathing a huge sigh of relief as they're going to get point number 1 and this payload moving, but less than a minute left to go. They're not going to have much time.
Now at Miyoko played a little bit too passive there. Seems like unbinding the W key was the wrong move for that last play. If Miyoko had gone with his Zenyatta or with his Pharah to the point where the Pharah could have stand on the low ground behind his shield, or instead of having his shield up on point when he could have been swinging it and doing a lot of damage, he would have been doing a lot more.
See, Poly has his ult up coming up in just a second here. We saw the quadruple kill earlier. Now let's see what he does with it as well. Killua, and he's going to get the pick off on Killua. But really, you see Miyoko playing this passive game. Does get a kill for him so far, and right now, Superior is just pushing back Voltage. Voltage needs to find an answer fast because even if they push this all the way to the 3rd point, Voltage is going to have enough time, as much time as Superior.
Definitely, and now I'm feeling that Poly is playing a little bit weird. If he's focusing on Killa for some reason, imagine what Poly could be doing right now if he focused on the low ground. And there it is. Oh, it was humongous, but he's busy focusing on Killa where he could sort of pop damage down and done a lot more.
Tactical Visor coming out now for Gindrak. Does get Poly in the process. and both Mercy's going to use their Here comes the Graviton Surge here coming out, as then Polly's going to have himself a double kill, make that a triple kill on the D-Mech. What a play by Polly and the rest of his team. The Zarya, the Earth Shatter coming in. One more thing you say about the team plays from Superior, but Polly's got himself one, maybe two highlights right now.
I gotta be honest, Superior, I'm sort of disappointed in you right now. You shattered, and then you grabbed. Was that really needed? You could have saved that shatter. I know you could have. So what happened there was, did end up shattering for some reason. Without it, it could probably have closed for about 15 more seconds. But now they're not. Now they don't have the ult advantage anymore. They're no longer even for ults.
Gohan, the only one with the ult there, and Fearheight's gonna have his rally as well coming up as well. So, but on the other side, here comes the self-destruct coming up. Coming from Preston, does get a double kill to start off, takes down Polly and Supersonic. No more resist for Voltage, or for Superior rather, right now. So Killua's gonna take advantage with the Rocket Barrage, gets a double kill, and makes it a triple on air with a regular rocket here. Fearheight's gonna have to work hard to try and contest this point, but no dice, as Voltage is going to have themselves a good push. What a team fight there for Voltage, and they're going to have themselves turn 1 and turn 2.
Now, possibly Killua could have chosen to save his ult right there. If he had saved it, he had the two main people down. He could have come in there and just decimated at Miyoko or Fearhype by himself, instead of opting to pop his ult, which was a risky move, but I feel it's going to work out in the end if they're able to get to the second point at all.
So we're going to see them push up here. This last turn super important. Earth Shatter coming in, does get 2 people in the process. Now here comes the Graviton Surge as well. Superior's got themselves a team fight here. Gohan's using that Transcendence, but here comes at Miyoko and Air, the 2 tanks for Voltage right now, winning this fight here for Superior. Voltage is going to have to scramble for the point here in the final 8 seconds. Now the question is anybody going to be able to get there? Gindrak the closest. 3 seconds left. Killua's going to contest the point, so we will have overtime.
He's gonna play up in the high ground. Hopefully that Lucio's gonna even do anything, but it's he gets like the triple hammer down. That's great, but he's not. No one's there to capitalize on it. If he had saved, like, if only Gindrak was in position.
Polly's gonna have himself another double kill with this Rocket Barrage, gets 1 more, and that will be it. Superior, guess what, folks? Superior takes it to Game 5. The reverse sweep is upon us.
It isn't the reverse sweep until they get the reverse sweep. This is still in Voltage's hands. They still have the ability to pull back, regroup, and then decimate this next fight. It all depends. With the next map, it's gonna be a control. In the first game, they won control. So if they're able to continue these control skills that they have, if this is a possibility that Superior might get sweaty palms and the spaghetti might begin falling out of their pockets at any moment now.
So Superior's got it in the pocket, or Voltage had their sweep ready to go, but Superior just tells them that we've got maps 3 and 4. We're going to take you guys to Game 5 here, so we're going to bring in Artisan and Rien. Guys, Analyst Table and Color working together. You guys got your prediction right for the 4th map here, and we're in Game 5.
Yeah, it's been insane. This reverse sweep is definitely pretty fat.
So, yeah, so guys,
Indeed.
What did you guys see during that entire play? Because Superior and Voltage going off, but Superior just outpowering Voltage in that map.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like there was definitely a lot more team coordination with the Bridget and the Ryan kind of, going in, kind of getting some damage in there, and then also Amioko definitely still with the unbinded W key, kind of staying back with the team.
And then Rien, what did you see as well? Because I mean the one play that I saw though was Polly going off on that Pharah. So what did you guys see on your end as well?
Yeah, what it was is Gindrak, like I said before, for Voltage, he's pretty much been absent from the kill feed entirely on the soldier, because if you look at his career profile, I took the liberty of doing that during the game. He has lots of hours on these off meta heroes of Doomfist, and does play some Rhine too, and he can't really get the value that the Voltage need in taking out the carry of Polly for the Superior, and then when he doesn't get the value by killing Pharah, then he just kind of stands there and he's shoots.
Yeah, now I have a question for you guys. So I've noticed during the match that Killa and Polly would oftentimes focus on each other in the mid-air battle when they should have been focusing on the ground battle. Is that something that they should have been doing?
Yeah, that was about to be my
yeah.
my next point. Was definitely like Kahlua was trying to take down, like kind of going in with the counter Pharah Mercy there, but Polly was definitely on top there. And I did kind of see that they were focusing more in the air. So yeah, Rian, what about you?
Yeah, definitely. Kahlua, tried to, because Jindrak wasn't getting it. Now Kahlua has to step in and try to deal with Polly, and he couldn't because Polly seems to be the better Pharah and was shut down Kahlua again and again and again. And then as a result, you're missing a lot of the ground damage because now you have both your DPS trying to shoot one character in the air. And then when that one character can kill both of your DPS, then you have this 4v6 and you have no DPS on the ground other than your tanks. And then you lose the fights. And that's what happened pretty much in all of them is Polly would kill Kahlua and then he would kill Jindrak and then just goes in and sweeps up the rest of the team.
Mm-hmm. And so now we're going into our final map. I believe this is the final map here is going to be super important because it's whether or not Voltage can sneak away from the reverse sweep coming, or if Superior can take the reverse sweep here. So Voltage winning the first 2 games and Superior coming in with the next 2. So what do you guys think? Let's start off with Voltage. What does Voltage need to do to have an answer and take this game 5?
Probably definitely getting Jindrak on some more DPS that he's probably comfortable with, because it seemed like his soldier wasn't doing as good as he usually was doing in the earlier games.
I'm gonna say that Jindrak basically just needs a map that he's good with. He needs a map that supports his heroes.
And I think Control is definitely going to be one of those because in the first Control map we saw how well the Voltage did, by putting Jindrak on the Doomfist and then him going in and sweeping him up because it wasn't really a fair map. And Oasis is a little bit more of a fair map, so they've got to be careful with that. And they just need to make sure that they counter the Pharah beyond putting Jindrak on Soldier, because clearly that's not working.
Mm-hmm. And so Superior now, all they have to do is take Oasis here, and they've got the reverse sweep. So does Superior really have to change up anything, or are they good as it is right now?
They need to make sure Admioko doesn't play aggressively again.
Yeah.
I don't know. Control it. If he plays a little bit aggressively, there's a point in the last game where when Voltage was pushing in and Miyoko was one of the last people in there, he had his shield up and he was protecting absolutely no one but himself when he could have been protecting his far, swinging his hammer. So I think there's a point where he needs to know when to switch off of aggressive plays and when to switch off onto aggressive plays. And with Control maps being more Winston orientated, this might be Voltage's time to take advantage of that aggressive playstyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if they can counter aggressive at Miyoko like they seem to do on Gibraltar and then on Lijiang as well, then I think it's definitely going to be in their favor. But I like this pick so far and sticking at Miyoko on that Rhine and keeping him there, because I think personally he's a lot better at Rhine than he is at Winston.
Yeah, and there might be quite a few some fat grabs with some dragons thrown in the mix here.
Very pog.
Fat grab.
All right, so before we let you guys go, we have 15 seconds left to go. Just quick picks here, and as well as the chat here on Twitch on the Overtime Champions channel as well. Quick picks here. Do we think Voltage sneaks away from the reverse sweep, or does Superior sweep them away here in 3-2?
I'm giving it Superior because of the Pharah Mercy. It seems really strong here, especially on Oasis.
If this is a small map, I'm gonna give it to Voltage. If Jindrak can pull his weight now, it's gonna be his.
Yeah, I'm going to say Voltage as well, because they've got Jindrak back on the heroes.
Ooh, a little bit of a split here. All right, thank you guys so much. We'll call you guys in after Game 5 to wrap it up. Thank you guys so much. We approach here in Oasis as we get the team fight started here already, right here in the middle.
Oh, Jindrak already juggling a few people.
Like we said, Jindrak's going to be huge coming into this game with this, with the Doomfist coming in play here. Already gets eliminated by Air, so Air knows what to do to take down the Jindrak from Voltage so far, and right now it looks like Superior may have this team fight in its hands. Polly's gonna have himself that Pharah still really working well on it. 5-4 on the point though right now, and Voltage not being able to do anything to try and take this point away from Superior, and it's gonna be Superior that takes the point off of tick by tick by tick. They've got the first strike.
Karina made a really risky move, rezzing Gohan up in the open area while their Diva went in, and it seems like they're gonna be losing this fight as well.
Poly gets himself a double kill as well as the triple kill from the rocket barrage, and so once again, Superior is going to hold this point. Poly's just working in his favor right now, and Voltage needs to find an answer for Poly and find it quick, otherwise they're going to lose this one.
Definitely, and Air already has grab. You know it's gonna come in to the point where they can't do anything. If Poly can get his ult as fast as he just did, it's gonna be game over. Oh, Gindrak almost got the Mercy. He was like an inch away.
But Gindrak is aiming for Gohan, but there's the Transcendence. Meteor Strike coming in. It's gonna need to wait a little while. Transcendence comes in, but not much there. Kalua gets the Deadeye though. Here comes Gohan on that Earth Shatter. So right now, Voltage is coming out with the win here. Poly and Air though, keep in mind, here comes the Graviton Surge right down in the middle. Poly has himself a kill on Gohan. Air's gonna get the DMAC. That should push back Voltage. And once again, Superior holds 58% on the board right now. So really, Poly's working this one, so Voltage needs to find an answer quick.
Yeah, they definitely do. I think that the main answer that they're gonna need is Killian's gonna need to actually start doing a lot of damage. Gindrak needs to start pulling his own weight again. He has this ability to start doing some more work, but he needs to play not with Poly.
Self-destruct coming right in the middle.
Oh, that's huge!
Starts it off. That's huge for Voltage. They're going to allow a push here. Superior just does not have the answer for a self-destruct triple kill, and Voltage gets themselves the first flip here on Oasis.
Now that I also see Crane is going to be playing Moira now, which is super annoying to play as Mercy or Pharah. That beam just tracks you no matter where you go, and it's so long that it's never going to let go of you.
And so Voltage, knowing that this playoff game is super important here, the first NA playoff here in Season 3, Voltage really knowing that what's at stake here, and they've got themselves the first flip, so now they got to hold it. Those Superiors coming in here with the mindset that they're going to play for the back. Poly's got himself one, there's two, gets the DMAC, there's three, there's a triple. There's the triple plus the DMAC. Air has himself a kill too, so Superior showing off why their team name is as such, and they're going to get themselves what I could call a team kill. They've got themselves another flip. Voltage got to find an answer quick here as they're at 85%.
Yeah. Gindrak was so close to stopping that barrage, but I feel he's playing too aggressive now. The pressure has set on him too much. He's the one who has the nerves now, because he's basically been the reason why his team hasn't been able to perform as well as they should.
Gonna see a good team fight here. Gohan with that Earth Shatter has himself a double kill so far. And right now Superior, they may be in overtime, but it's a 5-1 team. And they're gonna have themselves more or less a team kill. So Voltage now one round away from being reversed. So that Superior's got themselves one away from their first NA playoff win here.
Voltage needs to win both of these matches, but the question is, are they going to be able to? The next two maps are, yeah, we got a really open one. This is gonna be hard for Gindrak to be playing. You know, we're focusing on Gindrak because this is what they need to win. Your weakest link is going to be how well your team can perform. With Gindrak being an off-meta hero who plays, I'm gonna be honest, one of the worst heroes in the entire meta. You rarely see pros use him, and when you do it, it's so specific that it's dumb. He's gonna be playing this hero in an open area.
So we're coming in the city center now. So like you said, Voltage needs to find an answer quick. They've only got two maps here. Superior now 100% away on this point from reverse sweeping, and what I could say probably the most impressive reverse sweep I've ever seen so far.
Yeah.
So already the team fight coming up here. You'll see them by that elevator here right in the city center. Superior's got themselves a first fight here. Gindrak's going to get himself a double kill to start off. No resist as he takes down Supersonic with that Mercy. So Voltage right now has an answer for them. They're going to move on to the point. Gindrak, here he comes with this Doom Fist already. As you guys were talking about, and Color and Analyst both working together. Gindrak showing up and knows the stakes here in this first NA playoff here of Season 3. Voltage has themselves the first point here, something we didn't see in the first map.
I don't know if Gindrak's Admiral just popped in, but that was beautiful. Getting a triple kill that fast is what I've been wanting to see, and maybe Poly would lose position on that. But if he's able to ignore Poly is what I want him to do. Don't care about Poly, stay away from Poly. In fact, focus on bigger targets. Please go for Gohan is what I really want to see. And the same for Poly. Don't focus down Gindrak. He's going to be super easy to take out, and if you can't, go for one of the healers.
And here we go, Coalescence coming out now here for Craniac, and Gohan's already got himself a Fire Strike. That takes down at Miyoko here. But here comes Polly with that rocket barrage. There's one, there's two. Gets 2 other rockets on the double kill as well. So he has himself a quadruple kill in this team fight, and Gohan ends the fight, which means Superior has themselves the team kill and the flip with 47% for Voltage already.
Honestly, that voice mocking Voltage super hard on that one, and in fact, not even mocking, but also, it's gonna be. I feel it's gonna be a hard hold. Voltage does have the team advantage. Does have the ult advantage. They have 4 ults. If they can use them wisely, they can win this with 2. Oh, but he kicks off. Probably kicks off Gindrak.
And Gindrak is gone for the fight for now, so we'll see if Voltage elects to play back just a little bit. No, they're gonna play super aggressive here, trying to get anybody here. Trying to get some picks. They have 4 ults ready to go. Air and Gohan are the only ones that have their ult on Superior side, so here we go. We'll see if they make use of their ults or how they use their ults. Here, President's gonna have his DMech ready. Here comes Admiyoko with that Earth Shatter. Not getting really anybody, but does get Ninja on that Lucio. And so right now, the team fight being won by Voltage, but here comes Gindrak as we've seen. Can he get anything here? And he's just gonna play off here. Polly's got himself a rocket barrage. There's 1, there's 2. And so Superior gonna have themselves a push as Gindrak is gonna fall back.
Yeah, and that was really rough for Voltage. They used 2 offensive ults and didn't get a single kill. Plus, playing hyper aggressive when they should have moved back to wait for Gindrak was a very bad move. You're just giving the enemy team free ult charge at that point.
So 72%, so this may be 1, maybe 2 more pushes for Voltage to try and take this point back, but they're running out of time. This playoff could be all but lost here. This playoff game could be all but lost here for Voltage right now. They got to find an answer quick. Here's the next team fight that we see right here in the middle of City Center. Here comes the self-destruct. President was huge earlier and gets the kill on Air. Only 1 though, Gohan. But right now, the tank play is going well for Voltage. It's the follow-up that we're worried about here. As Killua does get the kill. The tank plays coming out. Here comes Gindrak.
Yeah.
Here he comes. Can he make use of what he's got though? Because right
Admiyoko needs to drop his shield and start swinging his hammer sooner.
He swung his hammer too little too late. Gohan has himself a fire strike kill, and that allows the last second flip for Voltage, but they cannot afford another flip here. They have to hold it for the rest of the game to force game number 3.
Gindrak the Spaghetti showing right now his nerves must be on edge as it's 99. They need, if they don't win this, they're out. There's no loser bracket if I'm right.
Nope, no, I don't know about that for sure. But if there isn't a loser bracket, they know what's at stake here.
Even though Team Voltage might have all advantage, they need to use it right.
Killua's gonna start us off with a Deadeye here. Earth Shatter happening here. Is that gonna get anybody? It does get a few people. So a trade-off. Here comes the Graviton Surge. Stop Barry comes off. Now here comes Polly with his 1. There's 2, but Polly does kill himself in the process. Does get the DMech on President as well. So a 4-1 advantage right now for Superior on this point. They're gonna have to flip. Voltage has to scramble here. Is anybody gonna make it in time?
The force to not be messed with is gonna win this playoff. That's Superior with the reverse sweep. There's no stopping them. Once they got those creatures out, that's gonna be GG.
Wow, a huge GG as well. Voltage takes away the first 2 maps, but Superior says, bring out the broom. Let me show you how it's done. They've got the reverse sweep. Polly with the play of the game, deservedly so. Gets the triple kill and the DMX make that 1 more. But what a game. Superior brings out the broom from the closet on the reverse sweep. Wins it 3-2 here. And what more can you say about this game, guys? We bring in our analysts here in Artisan and Rien coming in. And guys, what more can you say about this game?
Yeah, I was wrong. I'm gonna say it was Voltage's game to lose, and Superior does come out with a win.
Yeah, definitely. They I'm tired of saying his name, but Polly was definitely carrying their team there. Like he was definitely the Pharah was like they couldn't seem to find like a nice counter to Polly's Pharah.
And so Voltage now, that playoff, I mean Superior coming in here, they were down 2-0, but they knew, I guess the mindset was it's a playoff game. They knew what was at stake here, and they reverse sweep. So really, like you said, Rien, Voltage's game to lose, but was it really Superior's game to take over as the reverse sweep too?
I think once they identified kind of the issues of Voltage and that Gindrak was kind of the weak link on them, and they didn't really have a hit scan as well, then they put Polly on the Pharah, and then they let Polly put in work, and then he did exactly that. And then the rest of the tank line identified their own problems, right? Like at Miyoko, identified, okay, I need to play with the team more. And then that gave Polly room too, because then you have damage on all the different fronts, because you get the ground line front damage, or the ground war frontline damage with the 2 tanks, and then you have Polly up in the air applying pressure too. So you have to choose, as the Reinhardt, what are you going to block? Do you want to block the top, or do you want to block the bottom? And most of the time they choose to just block the ground war damage, and that ended up not working because Polly was just so good on that Pharah.
And so first NA playoff, guys, that was huge. And what a way to kick off our Season 3 playoff here. A reverse sweep, 2-0 for Voltage, then 3-2 for Superior. So what a way to start off our playoffs. But how excited are you guys to see Superior the rest of the way?
I'm definitely excited. If they can keep those reverse sweeps up, it'll be amazing.
And so, any final thoughts on the game? Like, what should Superior be looking for coming into the next round of the playoffs, or what Superior needs to do to try and take this all the way to the championship?
Superior definitely needs to be looking for a little bit. They have those pre-game jitters. They had them nerves. They need to smooth them out.
Yeah.
All right. So I believe that will do it for us. So for all of us here, Bite Me as the color commentator over here, in Artisan, and Rian as our analyst, and as well as the production crew, Quella as our host, and Qbot as our production. My name is Clutchkey. We thank you guys for watching this production of Overtime Champions. The win goes to Superior after down 2-0. Superior takes the throne on the reverse sweep, winning 3-2.